Welcome to the Casual Metal Podcast. I'm Brian Patton.
And I am Daniel Terry.
Dan, how you doing? You've been
Oh,
on vacation since we talked. You've had more tooth nonsense.
oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. No, I'm kind of a mess. As I just got done telling Brian off camera, I just reinstalled the operating system on my computer, and so none of my microphone settings, my camera settings, any of that stuff, it's all gone. You know what I mean? It's gone, gone, gone. And a smart person would have like wrote down all of his settings and done all that stuff.
No.
I didn't do that, and so that's if I sound bad, if this podcast sounds bad, it's my fault, 100%, not Brian's fault. So bear with us on that. But yeah, I'm okay. My teeth are all good for now.
They're all good. That's
We're all
good.
good. Yes, vacation was wonderful. I came back very, very broke. It's so weird too, right? Because like when you're on vacation and all your kids are standing there like outside of the laser tag place, you're like, yeah, I'll pay $60 for laser tag. No big deal, right? And then you get home and you're like, why did I spend $60 on laser tag? Right.
Yep.
It's hard to explain to myself, but yeah, no, I'm a little bit of a mess tonight, and I'm hoping that our discussion on Lorna Shore's new album will help with that a little bit, because something that happened very recently is this little guy that I'm holding up here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. This is a CD-ROM drive. It's a USB CD-ROM drive that I was using to rip all of these wonderful CDs behind me into a perfect FLAC collection for just to have, just to have digital copies of everything. I guess, I don't know, LG just didn't design their CD-ROM to do that. Like, they're like, yeah, this drive, it's for like pulling photos off of a CD. It's not for like ripping stuff at its absolute highest bit rate,
No.
that you can get. So I am in the market for a new one of those. So make sure to leave us a comment or send us an email at casualmetalpodcast@gmail.com to let me know what you think the best drive for ripping FLAC files is, because I'll be
Yeah.
very interested in that. But other than that, I'm doing good, and we're back on track. Brian, how are you? How have things been going with you?
Everything is busy. As I told you offline, I sold all of my guitar pedals so I could buy all new guitar pedals, which is overwhelming because there's only like a million different varieties of every type of pedal you could ever want.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and all I have is YouTube videos to spend all of my hours watching
Yeah.
on different sounds and being like, I don't know what is the best pedal. But other than that, everything is great. Everything is great. The weather is finally cooling off.
Oh, I love it.
I hope so. So
Yeah, it's
I
plaid
hope it
weather for
sticks.
sure.
Yep, absolutely. Now, as you said, Deb, we're talking about Lorna Shore, their new record. I feel the Everblack festering inside me. It's one hell of a title. What was your introduction to Lorna Shore?
Well, my introduction to Lorna Shore, because I am a filthy casual, was a little song called "To the Hellfire," and because I hadn't really listened to Lorna Shore that much. I know that they had a singer; they'd have two singers, I believe, before Will Ramos, right?
Yeah.
And the the most recent one, I remember my friend John from the Brutally Speaking podcast interviewed Lorna Shore after their second singer was not in the band anymore. And so their conversation was very much like, well, what are you guys going to do now? And they're like, well, we're going to figure it out. And you know what? They absolutely did figure it out.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, so that was good. They got Will Ramos on there. They released "To the Hellfire," and yeah, when I heard that song, I was completely blown away. I got their EP as quickly as I could. Only 3 songs, but still very long.
Yeah.
That's a thing about Lorna Shore that I'm going to talk about here. Is just the song lengths are always it's almost too much, but like I'm okay with it, right? Especially if I was buying a 3-song EP like I did then, I
Yeah.
felt like I was more than getting bang for my buck
Yeah.
on that disc. And then obviously Pain Remains came out, and that it was, I mean, everything that you could hope for out of a
Yeah.
Lorna Shore album and more. And I'll be honest with you, going into this record, I was like, I don't know how we're going to beat Pain Remains.
Yep.
What about you?
So my Lorna Shore introduction was the video for Sun Eater that popped up in my YouTube feed. And I saw, the screen grab, whatever you call it, on the YouTube video
Thumbnail.
thumbnail. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And I was like, this is not going to be my vibe. I'm not going to like this at all. But I clicked play anyways. And 8 minutes later, my jaw was on the floor, and I was like, well, everybody I know should hear about this band.
Yeah.
And so then I immediately found To the Hellfire, and I picked my jaw up off the floor to have it fall down again.
Yeah.
And and that was it. I got to see Lorna Shore on the Pain Remains tour that year. That album blew me away. And like you said, I was nervous about this record. I don't know if we talked about this offline or on the last podcast. Like, Pain Remains was so incredible
Yeah.
that I was nervous about this record because, Spirit Box and Turnstile both released banger albums that blew me away. And I was underwhelmed by both their releases this year. And it's like
Okay.
maybe the bar is too high, and you're just when you connect with something on that level that just means something to you, it's hard for bands to hit that level again.
Yeah.
Right. And even if
Totally.
you release a great record, and both the new Spirit Box and new Turnstile are great, they still don't touch you in the same way. But let me tell you, Dan, the motherfuckers brought it.
Yeah, I mean, this was I agree. I mean, this was absolutely, and here's the thing. When I went into this record, I didn't think that it was going to be bad,
I
which
I
is
didn't think it was gonna be bad. I just didn't
see,
think
I the
how
way
how do
that's
you
the
hit
way.
Pain Remains again? Like,
Right. I mean, that's the kind of the way my brain works though. Like for me, I will just be like, "Oh yeah, it's bad," or because this is a weird moment because this is probably the most popular any band that sounds like Lorna Shore has ever really been,
yeah,
right? Because this is not palatable for most people. I still get people that comment on my videos that are like, "No, these bands, they don't even sing. Like, what is why? I don't understand why they don't sing, right?" And so with a band like Lorna Shore, this is so above and beyond just heavy music.
yeah,
It's beyond hardcore. It's beyond deathcore,
yeah,
and yeah, I can easily, the music reviewer in me can be like, yeah, this is just they play black and deathcore, and then I can just write it off. But like there is so much emotion and melody and
yeah,
so many different things going on in these songs, that I mean, honestly, the first time I listened through it, I was just there to get my face beat in, which I absolutely did, you
yeah,
know no doubt about it. But as I listened to it like the second or third time, a lot of the underlying melody really started coming into
yeah,
play, and there was a lot of like me having to keep track of riffs.
yeah.
And I am probably gonna disagree with you a little bit on this one, but as much as I like this record, I do not think that it hits Pain Remains.
Okay,
And it's not because I think that it's not that I think that it's like objectively worse.
yeah,
I actually think what hurts it for me is that it's very much a lot of the same thing, and
yeah,
that's the metal fans conundrum, right? Because if they change, then it's bad.
yeah.
But if they do the exact same thing again, well, that's also
Bad.
bad,
Yeah,
right? And some bands have played it safe throughout the years, and I don't think that Lorna Shore is playing it safe. I just think that, like, let's say the song Oblivion just had a big, like, sexy pop hook right in the middle of it, like clean song.
yeah,
It would feel disingenuous,
yeah,
right, to the rest of it. And so, like, obviously they can't go in that direction. The only things that I could see them doing is really just leaning into one side of the coin or the other side of the coin more. I feel like Pain Remains was a little bit more deathcore
yeah.
overall, like using more of the like tried and true like breakdown formula. Because even I was surprised by that with Pain Remains, that it was that they used like such traditional style breakdowns. But I mean, it was kind of a if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of
Yeah,
thing. But on this record, this is a lot more metal to me,
yeah,
than core, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say. Is that like there's a lot more solo, there's a lot more like techie lead guitar work on here than there was on
mhm,
Pain Remains, and so for me, it sort of it hits more like an extreme metal album, like a legitimate extreme metal
yeah,
experience, more so than maybe the older Lorna Shore material that was a lot more influenced by like metalcore and stuff like that.
that's fair.
That's my yeah. I'm really starting to get into the groove again of like stuff I say on discography discussion, but like it is but yeah, that is how I feel. I don't think anything's wrong. Like they're like the song "Death Can Take Me" is probably my favorite song on the record.
Yeah, yeah,
Just really in your face, not too long. I mean, it's 7 minutes, but it's not 9 minutes. Yeah, that's how you
Yeah.
have to start thinking about some of these songs. No, I love that song. I loved Oblivion, Prison of Flesh. And yeah, it's all good. The whole record is good. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's hard to tell what track you're on sometimes because there's so much going on. I mean, have you ever listened to a band like this and you're like, how do these guys remember their songs?
Yeah. No, as a person who writes and records music, I've written and released a lot of stuff over the last like year and a half.
Mhm.
I will never be able to play that stuff again. It
Sure.
exists online, and I will never remember how to play that song again.
Right, right.
So I'm always impressed by people who like, yeah, you wrote that song and you remember it. Great. Like, how
Yeah,
does Metallica play different sets every night over like this span of their career? It's phenomenal. The
right.
thing, like, I mean, I like black metal a lot more than I like deathcore. I like symphonic
Same.
metal more than
Yeah.
I like deathcore. So like all those elements really work for me. I mean, Adam is like a phenomenal guitar player and he shines like so much on this record. All the leads are just so crisp, so killer. I mean, like right now, In Darkness is playing in my headphones, and like that guitar solo is phenomenal. They're all phenomenal. So for me, I like that extreme metal aspect. And yeah, it's a long record. The thing that, like, you know, sometimes you listen to a record and it feels long, and you're just like, when is this going to end?
Yeah.
This is how I feel listening to some records that a lot of people like that I won't name. But there's a point where I'm like, this record should be over now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't feel that way listening to this record. And it's just like I'm enjoying the ride. My complaint with this record, my lone complaint is War Machine. And it's not even that I don't like the song. I just don't like where it fits in the album.
Okay. Sequencing.
Um yeah, it
Where would you
because
put it?
I have tried to figure this out because everything flows so well up until that point,
Okay.
and that song comes out of nowhere. And if it was like the closing track and kind of standalone, I would be like, okay. But there's more songs after that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did like my first time through, I was a little bit like, "Oh, okay, we're at the end."
Bro.
You
Yeah.
know, and then I'm kind of like, I'm like, "Okay, wait, wait, what?" Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I feel you. It definitely feels like a closer, but I don't know, like Forevermore is still a better closer,
Right.
right? So
Right.
like how do
Agreed.
you yeah, you can't just swap them.
And it's like I've talked to enough bands at this point to know that like there's no band releasing an album that is just throwing their songs on vinyl or CD for whoever because they don't care about that. The sequencing to all these bands is still important. So
Yeah.
they chose to put that somewhere. Maybe it's just like we believe in this song and it doesn't fit in the flow of everything else because each song kind of just goes into the next, which I like, but I get your point of like which song is which.
Yeah, I mean it sounds bad. Like this is the hardest thing about reviewing new music for me. Like it's one thing for us to sit down and talk about a Mastodon record that came out 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And like even with the Gruesome record, it was like it's new, but it's familiar enough to something else that
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody told me they're like, yeah, I think it's funny how you guys totally didn't talk about Human, but then you totally did, you know. Um,
That was the point.
yeah, but yeah, like with Lorna Shore, what you have with I feel the Everblack festering within me. I don't like the title very much. I love the
No.
artwork. I think the artwork is beautiful. And I love the way the CD looks. I was so proud of it when I got the CD. I was like taking pictures of it and sending it to people. I was like, this CD looks so cool, right?
No, man.
And I'm pulling up into like medical clinic parking lots, you know, blasting this record like a jerk. And no, I mean I I really love the sound, and I feel like this is one of those things where maybe we should revisit it in a year and see where we're
Yeah.
at, you know? Just as kind of like somebody's gonna have to remind us to do that, though. I'm not gonna
Sure.
remember that I said that, you know, on one specific episode, but I think this is the best record they possibly could have put out.
Yeah.
I was surprised to hear a lot more of the like 80s sort of influenced shred. There's a lot
Yeah.
of like clean, like not evil, not black metal sounding melodies
Yeah.
on here. A lot of it sounded like really clean and dare I say even a little bit positive. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I know there's like Everblack or whatever, right? But yeah, I think this is the best thing that they possibly could have done to follow up Pain Remains without literally repeating almost the same record note for note. And so I appreciate that they had the wherewithal to make a record, because I think if you took Pain Remains away
Yeah.
and this was the follow up to the EP, I think we'd still be like, yep, 10 out of 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? Greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
The reality is nothing's gonna beat the first album you listen to by a band,
Right.
you know? And like, I know that like there's probably some Lorna Shore OGs out there listening that are all like, it's not their first record, okay? It's in Flesh Coffin, like, yeah, I get it. You
Yeah.
know, I totally do. But as far as where I'm coming from, I wasn't really very much following this band at all
Yeah.
before before that EP, and I returned to emptiness.
Yeah.
Um, all right, and I returned to emptiness or nothingness.
Nothingness.
Okay, and I returned to nothingness. Yeah, so it's like that's that's the beginning of the band. That's actually my favorite Lorna Shore release. Like, just
Yeah.
even though it's only 3 songs, really love Pain Remains. Love the trilogy. Love the fact that they did not do a trilogy on this
Yeah.
record, and that they didn't try to repeat the same formula that they did on the previous. As far as it sounding a lot more like Pain Remains, I think that's just Lorna Shore being Lorna Shore,
Yeah.
and a lot of the changes that were made were just more subtle. They weren't necessarily like in your face. So yeah, they brought it. I really really enjoyed it. I'm going to continue to enjoy it as we go. It's probably going to stay in the car CD rotation for probably the next year or so.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, instead of like a trilogy, the Pain Remains trilogy, you get like the standalone ballad with Glenwood, right? Which is not ballady at all, but I love the way
The
Will's
Lorna Shore
vocals are
ballad. Yeah.
mixed. Like, yeah. And there's like he has this like clean vocal part at the end of the various choruses that like pans differently when you're listening to it. It's like it's such a cool track. And yeah, I mean, Austin Archie's a machine. Is there a better drummer right now? Like he's just rock solid.
He
I
did
mean,
sound very inhuman in a lot of places, yes. Like, it was a little bit the drumming was a little overwhelming in places. Like, I'm
yeah,
getting old. When I listen to a record like this, sometimes I get confused about where I'm at and what I'm doing, because there's so much. It's overstimulating
yeah. I
in
mean, what?
places.
Yeah, I mean, like every time I watch a drum video of his, or even seeing the band live, you're just like, everything's got to be fucking triggered, and like he can't be playing at all. But he's just that fast. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I've seen live videos, even if it is like, sequenced or something in the studio or
yeah,
fixed digitally or whatever, he can still
he
go
can
out
do
there
it.
and knock it out. Yeah, so
Yep,
like,
yep,
it
yep,
is what it is. But yeah.
yep,
No, I mean, I like this record a lot. I'm not gonna just keep saying it over and over again. I wish that I was as quick as I used to be, where I'd be able to, sit there and have like all of these bullet points out there. But for a record like this, this band makes a sound that I enjoy for 67 minutes straight,
hmm yep,
and
yep,
not a lot of bands do that for me anymore. So I'm very happy with this release overall.
yep, yeah. Is that your final thought?
That's my final thought, bro.
Yeah, yeah. My final thought. I think the record's 9.7 out of 10 because I don't like where War Machine sits in the sequencing.
Okay.
But I mean, everything about this record works for me. It's still going to be one of my favorites of 2025 without a doubt, and I'm going to listen to it a lot.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Is there an album you've been jamming this week other than this one?
Oh man, what have I been jamming this week? I've been jamming Heavy Rocks by Boris, the original. That's my album of the week. I've been on a Boris kick recently.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, fall just hit, right? It's plaid weather again, right? Flannel
Yeah.
weather. So I've been listening to Blackwater Park by Opeth, because that is a band that I just always associate with the fall season. Because I can listen to Opeth all through October, and then when November hits, I switch over to November's Doom, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I've been rolling for the last 10 years. So yeah, Blackwater Park, 100%.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Kind of a shorter one. And one of these days we're gonna like. It's so funny because one of these days we're gonna end up getting in a huge disagreement on something, and that episode's gonna go on for like 75 minutes.
Yep.
So I'll let you guys, the listeners, decide what record that's going to be or where that is.
Yeah.
But until next time, guys, send us an email at casualmetalpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll respond to that email. And we probably will. I guess it kind of depends on what you say, but we'll probably respond to it. So with that out of the way, thank you guys very much. We will see you guys again next time.